Your Excellency, the Governor of Sindh and patron of Habib University, our inspirational and honorable commencement speaker, Dr. Azra Raza, Chancellor Rafiq Habib, members of the Board of Governors of Habib University, members of the Board of Directors of Habib University Foundation, Vice President Academic Affairs, Chris Taylor, and esteemed members of the faculty of Habib University, parents, guests, and of course, Habib University Trailblazers and class of 2020, welcome to the first ever Habib University online convocation. Trailblazers of 2020 is the third graduating batch from Habib University. As many of you know, we gave our first 4 classes specific names: co-founders, pioneers, trailblazers, and pathfinders, in acknowledgement of their imagination and courage to join a new institution. With that, we were always expecting some attention-seeking middle child antics from our trailblazers, but never thought that the universe would fashion such a global upheaval to make your commencement this extraordinary and memorable. Congratulations, class of 2020. You have successfully attained the utmost attention of the entire university. But seriously, I want to express my admiration and gratitude for you, and especially for your families. You rose to this unprecedented challenge of being disrupted at the most critical juncture of your academic journey, during your last semester. And for many of you, it wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of your parents and your family. Well done. You have made us proud. While we celebrate your accomplishments, I would request to remember those who have lost their lives to this still unfolding and menacing pandemic. During the last 4 months, we at Habib University have also lost 2 of our stalwarts. Ali Suleiman Habib, one of the founding members of the Board of Governors and a driving force in the success of our university, and Dr. Asif Aslam Farokhi, a founding faculty member, a champion unlike any of regional languages and literature in the country, with profound knowledge of the world and a rarely seen devotion to his students. On behalf of Habib University, I'm honored to acknowledge and salute the contributions of these 2 wonderful departed souls and offer our deep condolences to their families. Dear Trailblazers, on your special day, I will invite you to reflect on 3 historic and deeply connected, unraveling phenomena being witnessed in the past 6 months. Number 1, being developed or not is a false binary. Coronavirus has exposed the utter wrong-headedness of the entire story of the progress and development. While many have been pointing to the environmental catastrophe and the destruction of the natural world, which is directly attributed to the existing development paradigm, those voices have been silenced by the cacophony of citing the great merits of modern material development and the so-called systems which are created as a result. Well, turns out it was largely a hoax. As we watch in shock and horror the richest and the most resourceful countries rolling over and have millions as sick and dying in their midst. No coherent policy, overwhelmed systems with disadvantaged and poor suffering disproportionately, and their politicians and public being distracted in mind-numbingly strange debates about masks versus freedom. In contrast, places like Senegal or Vietnam ensuring basic and adequate protection for all of their citizens. This pandemic crystallized the calculus of either developing a society and economy geared towards creating and hyping the making of 1,000 billionaires at the expense of 500 million people, or maintaining some modicum of a social contract with your citizens. You cannot have both. Another dimension of this toxic realm of progress that has been laid bare are the claims of great scientific advancement. If you read the guidelines handed out during the 1918 pandemic, it had 2 very primitive points: wear masks and maintain social distance. So in 102 years, that's the net worth of trillions being invested in this so-called advancement. This is an outcome of viewing knowledge just as a vehicle of immediate material payoff. When mega pharmaceutical corporations are only seeing value in lifestyle therapies or expensive clinical drugs, the idea of public health is not good capitalism. Values of Jonas Salk, the inventor of polio vaccine, are bad for business, who famously declined to patent his vaccine by saying, patent? There is no patent. Could you patent the sun? Building your insights about what has transpired in the realm of development in the past 5 months will inspire you to imagine a different world. 2, insanity of information. Linked to the mindlessness of progress is one of its ubiquitous outcomes, information technology and the near insane proliferation of social media. During this pandemic, the social media has shown a comically nightmarish dimension of misinformation, conspiracies, cynicism, willful ignorance, and a general death of common sense. It's been wielded cynically for politicizing of a public health challenge as PR calculations, where truths or facts would be determined by volume of your outreach. No matter how much Columbia University can advocate to its 380,000 followers on Twitter, not using hydroxychloroquine randomly because it can be fatal based on clinical data, it will be immediately mocked and undermined by someone and their 83 million followers. This is not a fair fight. And this is just one example in form of a litany of similar horror stories. Shareholders and CEOs of many of these organizations have no intention of introducing any sensible measures to prevent the dreadful fallout from such manipulations. In spite of this, there is a strong reason to remain optimistic about the constructive potential of these forces. But it would require leaders like you, Trailblazers. You are far better equipped to navigate these endless labyrinth of the virtual worlds. Most from my generations would be largely clueless. Until just a few weeks ago, I thought that TikTok was some kind of chunky candy. Number 3, unmasking of the brutal racism. Linked to the above two, the positive potential of social media made it possible for us to view the vivid images of shocking injustice and outright tyranny stemming from putrid racism, which is among the foundational values of the contemporary world. Others being envy, violence, cutthroat competition, and exploitation. Nevertheless, the reaction to these incidents has been inspiring and powerful, and in the process, architects and icons of modern history are being exposed as genocidal maniacs, which they truly were. In this regard, Habib University Education has done something unique for you. We asked ourselves one key question while crafting our intellectual fabric. How can a society or culture survive when they do not have an independent view of their own literature, their own art, their own thoughts, of their own social structures, of their own view of reality and the universe from the point of view of their own civilization? While this remains a daunting work in progress, Habib University is indebted to the efforts of its founding faculty members to advance this mission of our institution rapidly in the short span of 6 years. We see that the beauty of knowing and understanding yourselves with your own lens will never result in being bitter or vengeful. Instead, you will become wise and insightful. This wisdom and insight are crucial to meet the challenges which I have highlighted. These challenges emanate from the very shape of the world that has been rammed down history's throat over the last 400 years. Habib University Trailblazers, my parting advice is to always reflect on what you were invited to learn at Habib University. Cure your cynicism with passion and ikhlas. Challenge the ugliness and destruction with grace and beauty. Address laziness, indifference, and incompetence with ahsan, with rigor and excellence, and tackle exploitation and avarice with ihsan, goodness, and service. Class of 2020, the future is yours to shape with this wisdom and insight of yourself. We are always going to be your cheerleaders in your journey. Congratulations.